Hey folks, it's Abby and I am going to be doing my Spring Reading Challenge TBR today. The wonderful Victoria who created this, as well as creating the Summer and the Winter Reading Challenges, will be linked down below, along with all of the various different bits and bobs that you're going to need if you want to take part in this. I am so excited to delve into this again. As with the last two, I am doing my TBR part of the way into it. But we're just running with it, okay? I enjoy taking part in these and I am late every time, but it's still fun. So we're going to delve in. I'm going to go from the top left, this is backwards for you, top left, down each row, and I'm going to go through the prompts and what I plan to read for them. Now this may change, I will do a wrap-up video at the end, so it may end up changing what I read, however, these are my current plans. Let's delve straight in. The first prompt: flowers/nature on the book cover, and I am going with Wranglestone by Darren Charlton, which is a zombie story, a zombie YA gay fantasy. I'm very excited for this, and this one has a lot of nature on the cover. Not many flowers, but we've got forests here, mountains, lakes. I feel like this is fairly naturous, and I'm looking forward to delving into this one. The next prompt is queer rep. Nice and easy for me, this one. I had to pick which book was going to go in there, and I picked Share of You by Armistead Maupin. This is the, I don't know, the 6th, it says, wonderful. This is the 6th book. To be fair, is Significant Others the 5th? Is this what it was supposed to be? This one, okay, it's not Share of You, it's Significant Others by Armistead Maupin, which is the 5th book. I'm planning on reading both of these in this time frame, so it could be either, but it's supposed to be the 5th one. Significant Others by Armistead Maupin, the 5th book in the Tales of the City series. This is essentially a written soap opera of a variety of sexually liberated people in San Francisco in the 50s. Is essentially what this is. I don't like soap operas. I don't like contemporaries, which is kind of, it's technically historical, but it's written like a contemporary. I fucking love this series. Their lives are so intricate and so detailed, and I love watching them discover who they are. There is so much LGBTQ+ rep in these, and I am just excited to carry on with the series. Then the prompt is to match your drink to the cover. I'm going to be inserting a clip here because I'm going to be matching System Collapse by Martha Wells to a vodka Diet Coke. Is my beverage of choice for this one. I'm filming this on my lunch break, so I'm not having a vodka Diet Coke just yet. So that will have been filmed on the weekend and then edited in. So that's what this one is matching. Love me a vodka Diet Coke. Fantastic for my migraines as well. And yes, I am excited to delve into this. This is the 7th Murderbot book, which I adore. The original Murderbot book, All Systems Red, is about a security unit that has overridden its governance module, but instead of going crazy, it just decides to watch soap operas and ends up saving the annoying humans when they keep getting into trouble. And it obviously goes much further from there, but I don't want to ruin anything. And I know nothing about this one. Everyone's favourite lethal security unit is back. I have no idea, but I'm excited. Then the prompt is for the oldest book on your TBR. Now, this can be interpreted however you want, whether you want it to be the book that was written the longest ago, or whether you want it to be the book that you've had on your own TBR for the longest. This one is both for me, and that is the Bible, the New International Version, Children's Edition. This one was gifted to me when I left year 4 in England, in English schools, which is 9, 10? Around then. It was gifted to me then, and this one, I researched it because I was curious, and it's believed that it was written around 400 AD. So this is the oldest in both senses of the word, and I am not religious myself, but this is sentimental for me, and so I want to keep it, but I want it off of my TBR, so. And then the final for this row is to read a seasonal read, and I was struggling with this one until I found The Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop by Takuya, I've not looked at the author of this yet, Takuya Asakura. Takuya Asakura, and translated by Yuka Meino. I'm so excited for this one. This was gifted to me by my partner, I believe at Christmas. Welcome to the Cherry Blossom Bookshop, a haven for book lovers that only appears during the fleeting cherry blossom season. Even more perfect for seasonal read is a seasonal bookshop in the seasonal read. Very excited. Then the first prompt for the next row is Irish author, and I'm going with, no one is surprised, Derek Landy with A Soul Full of Shadows, the 18th book in the Skullduggery Pleasant series. I don't want to, again, say too much about this series because 18 books, but the first book we're following a 12-year-old Stephanie Edgley who discovers that magic and danger is very much real in her society after her uncle dies, and she ends up partnering up with a skeleton detective and delving into this world. Then a reread, and I really wasn't sure for this one because obviously I have quite a selection. This is a silly choice, but I'm quite excited to do it, and that is I Like This Poem, edited by Kaye, Webb. I've had this for years. If you couldn't tell, I have folded pages down, and the reason why I thought of this, I'm not sure where it is because there's not a contents page, so I will have to find it. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It's the second poem, perfect. For some reason, to my partner, I ended up reciting the entire On the Ning Nang Nong where the cows go bong and the monkeys all say boo. So I thought this would be fun to reread. To explain what it actually is, it's a collection of poetry, best-loved poems chosen by children for other children. But it is also age categorised. This is for 6 and 7-year-olds. If I can find another... There we go. This is for 11-year-olds. I'm not sure how old I was when I got this. I was under 11. But I've had this poetry set for years, and obviously I've like proper folded it down, bended it. I would never do that to a book now, but I'm not mad that I did it in the past. I've like favourited so many of them. I just squished it. Look how much it squishes by. I folded down so many pages. So this is going to be my reread. It should be a nice and easy reread, which is always appreciated, but also it's going to be very nostalgic and enjoyable. Then the prompt is food on the cover, and what other book could I pick other than Ultra Processed People by Chris Van Tulleken. So this is a non-fiction all about food, how we've overly processed it and what it's doing to our bodies. I've been very curious about this book for a long time, so I'm excited to finally have an excuse to sit down and pick it up, and obviously the food on the cover is this big loaf of bread. Then random pick. I am nervous. I did this for the last one. We had random pick for the winter. Was it winter or was it the summer one? I forget. But the random pick was, this is the only thing I have that's already set up for a random pick, where I just pick something out of this jar. I think that this originally was new books as I got them in and I put them in here. They will not be new anymore. This was from a few years ago. Have I read it? The Drowning King! No, I haven't. Where is it? The Drowning King by Emily Holleman. If I'm correct, this was gifted to me by the wonderful Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. Do I have the wee slip? I don't have the slip, but I swear this was gifted to me by her. And this is a sequel for Cleopatra's Shadow, which I loved. It is set during ancient Egypt, during Cleopatra's reign. I am very excited for this historical fiction. Oh! Oh! The Romans steal power from the throne. I'm excited. I'm very excited. So, I was nervous about this one, because it could be anything. Like, what's the next one? Red Sparrow. Oh my god, that book is big. I would not have wanted to read that. Assassin's Quest. I'm complaining about Red Sparrow. This is Assassin's Quest. This could have been very bad. It turned out quite well, so I'm very pleased. Oh, how exciting. Okay, and then the final prompt for this row is a big book, which is one that's over 400 pages. This is almost 700 pages, Children of Strife by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 4th book in the Children of Time series. It is a space opera series where humans have set out into the stars to try and terraform other planets so that we can move to them because we have destroyed Earth. And things go wrong, random other creatures seem to evolve very quickly, and humanity doesn't exactly get out to the stars in the way that it wants to, and it has to then interact with these other creatures that it has formed. I love this series so much. Okay, disabled representation. I want thoughts on this, because I've went with Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Now I'll admit, this is one I've already read. So I can also swap this out. I've got Unwell Women, which is a non-fiction, which would definitely classify, as well as a few other books that I could pick up. I actually read... Where did I put it? I've read both of these within the time frame, and I've just realised that this Savage Song, one of the characters is partially deaf. So that would actually count, like, properly. The reason I picked Elantris was the characters... How do I describe this? Characters essentially die, but they're still living walking corpses, and so anytime they get any sort of injury, it's permanent. They can't heal themselves at all like we do from a paper cut or anything, or like a stubbed toe, and so I was considering that as a disability, but then this Savage Song literally has a hard of hearing main character. I prepped for this video, doing all of this, at 1 AM. Is it showing? Okay, the next prompt is to match my outfit to the cover, which is the whole reason I'm wearing this dress, so give me 1 second. Ta-da! This is the autobiography of my mother by Jamaica Kincaid. This book, it has the main character in a pink dress. This is the only pink dress I own. I think it's the only pink item of clothing I own. So this is what I'm doing for this one. This is about Zoella Claudette Richardson recalling the last 70 years of her life. So it's a fictionalised biography, I suppose, or autobiography. And I am looking forward to diving into this one. I haven't read this one. So yes, pink and pink. Yes, I was very pleased with myself when I discovered I could copy the outfit of the cover. Then, the next prompt is a second-hand book or one that you're borrowing, and for me that is going to be Snuff by Terry Pratchett, the 39th Discworld novel. I borrow these editions from my partner, so nice and easy. This is a Sam Vimes book. Love the Discworld. Then, the prompt is a classic. I have 2 options for this. One is Middlemarch by George Elliott that I'm buddy reading with the lovely Olivia Savannah. However, I don't know if we're going to finish this by the end of May, because we're just reading 1 chapter a day, and I haven't made the calculations as to whether that will actually get us finished by the end of May. I don't think it will, because we've been reading for half a month and we're only 150 pages in, and the book is 800 pages. So I highly doubt it, but we might. But the other option that I have is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. I know this is a modern book, but it's a classic English ghost story, so we're running with it. Every time I talk about classics and my brain just has Hannah from Leatherhead being like, it only counts as a... So this one was only published in, let's see, 1983. So it's really not old, but it says the classic English ghost story up here. So I'm running with it. This is my only real option on my shelves, other than On the Origin of Species. No, I already have the Bible and Middlemarch on this list, so we're gonna go with this one. Okay, then the next prompt is to read a non-fiction. I have many that I could pick, many that I'm going to be reading. For example, Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty. I'm going to be reading this in April. And then I have already read Tools for Life by Dr. Kirren Schnack, which is essential therapy skills everyone should know. And I have a few others dotted around as well, so I have many options for non-fiction, but the one that I've put down is the one I've read already, which is Tools for Life by Dr. Kirren Schnack. Then, a BIPOC author. This is a Black, Indigenous or Person of Colour author, and for this one I have went with Girl, Women, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This is a book that is written in chapters. Each chapter is split into 3, and these 3 sections are all from the point of view of a different Black English woman around the country from different time periods, and how they have had to overcome a lot of different struggles and how they are just trying to live their lives. So, yes. So the next prompt is that the book has a POV from an animal's perspective. I am not sure. So I've got 2 potential ones. One is Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This might not, but it's weird and has animals on the cover. It's these women go into Area X and it's fucked. So potentially. And then the other option I've went with is Intrigues by Mercedes Lackey. This is book 2 in the Vandermeer Chronicles, and book 1 we experience the horse that the boy ends up riding. He talks to him. I don't know if it's going to have a POV, but this is the closest I can get, so we're running with it. I shall reevaluate when I've read everything I've read, but I can't see anything else on my TBR that would work for that. So that's what we're going with. Then, continuing on in a series, and we have Days of Shattered Faith by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 3rd book in the Tyrant Chronicles, where we follow the Pels who are colonising their entire world and erasing all of the religions that are present in these other countries. Very fantasy version of British colonialism. Really well written, really enjoyable. I love the gods that we discover that they're trying to annihilate, but we discover and we learn about loads of different gods from loads of different cultures, and I love seeing all of those different gods in this series. Then, a book that's a retelling. So, if Elantris counts for disability, that's wonderful, because then I can use this Savage Song, because that is a Romeo and Juliet retelling if I've ever read one. However, Cleopatra by Sarah El Arifi is tagged as a retelling on Goodreads. I don't know what it's a retelling of. I have no idea, it doesn't say, but Goodreads puts it as a retelling on its tags, so I'm looking forward to this one. It is about Cleopatra, that's all I know. I adore Sarah El Arifi's writing, so I'm here for it. A hay fever book, one that's outside of your comfort zone, and of course I had to go with A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. I don't read romance, but I'm planning to read this one in April, so. Essentially this book is a young woman in America and she keeps getting emails saying that she's betrothed to an African prince. Spam, delete, not spam, romance. So that should be very interesting. An international author, so quite a lot of options for this, because I could just technically go with Americans, which would make this very easy, but I've tried to expand. So first of all we have To Hold the Bridge by Garth Nix, and he is Australian. I almost said American, he's most definitely not. And my other option is A Bigger Picture by Vanessa Nakate. This is a non-fiction all about the climate crisis and how it's impacting Africa and bringing in African voices, and this author is Ugandan. So I'm hoping to have read both of these, so we have some different options from the Southern Hemisphere. Then the book that is the shortest one on my TBR, and this is 3 Japanese short stories by Akutagawa and others. This font is awful for reading these people's names. Who is it? Akutagawa. It is. Okay. So this is by, this is by Akutagawa, Nagai and Uno. And it's 3 Japanese short stories. It is 50 pages. I should fly through this one. Another short one, but this is a book from 2 or more points of view. And I went with Lives of Bitter Rain by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I haven't read this, but every other book in this series so far has had like 5 or 6 different points of view. So I think there should be at least 2 in here. If not, I'm sure I'll find a different book I could swap it out for. And then the final prompt is, the title starts with S-P-R-I-N or G. And I went with I Shall Wear Midnight by Terry Pratchett. This is the 38th Discworld book and is a Tiffany Aching read. Okay, those are all of the books that I am hoping to read for the Spring Reading Challenge. Please let me know down below in the comments, have you read any of these? Does Elantris count for disability rep or not? Am I just making shit up? I would love to hear if you're taking part in this as well, and also please go and follow Victoria. She is a wonderful creator. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I will see you in my wrap-up. Bye!